Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well. And welcome to the second opposition preview with another Wolves fan. I have Dave back on the channel again. Dave from Talking Wolves. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I remember last time we talked, I think we had both not had a very poor form like we've had this season. Like you guys had lost just maybe a game that previous week or something, but since then both teams have dropped off very badly. We've just recently picked up. So the title of the video says what's going on at Wolves. So that's my first question. What's going on at Wolves? Is it the manager? Is it the players? Is it injuries?
Glenn, I wish I could give you a solid answer, really. I don't know. Since we last played you, obviously, when we won at Emirates, we've only won one game in the league, which was against Chelsea. Other than that, we've dropped so many points that there's no denying that we have struggled with injuries. Obviously, when Jimenez came off injured against you guys, we've just not really found that form. And we've only recently signed Willian Jose to replace him. So we've not really had enough time with a proper number 9 or a proper striker. And we've been, changing systems, changing tactics the previous 2 years. Whilst we've been in the Premier League, Nuno has been very consistent in his formations and team selections. Whereas this year, because of injuries, we've had to change it a lot. So I think that's been our issue, really. Just no consistency, and it's making us drop points and slide down the league, unfortunately.
Yeah, so in your first 2 seasons, you always knew Wolves like a team that was scoring goals. I remember you guys scoring 3 at Wembley against Tottenham. You scored 3 against us in your first season. And I used to defend very well, a lot of clean sheets with a solid back 3 before you guys sold Bennett. So what's wrong these days? Is it the defense? Is it striking?
Again, a bit of both. We're not scoring enough goals because we're not getting the ball up to the attackers enough. But we're too leaky defensively. We're just making... just silly errors, really. We can defend quite deep, but it's just we seem to be the team that dropped the error, really, and allowed teams to score. We saw that against Crystal Palace, just poor defending, really, and probably you could say poor goalkeeping by Patricio as well. Like you said, clean sheets are one of our specialities, I'd say, the last 2 years, but this year they've been almost non-existent. We've really struggled to keep any clean sheets. That one against Chelsea last week was quite rare in a 0-0 draw, but we defended so deep. We were never really going to score. We had 1 or 2 opportunities on a counter attack, but other than that, nothing. So it's up to Nuno now and Wolves to find a balance between defense and attack. We need to find a system where we can stop teams from scoring goals, but at the same time have our own, create our own chances and be able to score goals.
Yeah. So after Jimenez got that unfortunate injury, you put Fabio Silva up front there, but it hasn't worked for him. Why do you think so? Is he not ready yet?
Yeah, I think so. We had a couple of good games, Fabio, but like you say, he's still very young. He's come to a new country this summer and such strange circumstances, obviously, with what's going on in the world. So, I mean, at his age, if I had to move country for work, I think it would take me quite a while to get going. And I think Wolves know that. I think Wolves knew, he was going to be one for the future. I think he was always going to be the understudy to Jimenez this year and this season. But like I say, he's had a couple of good games, but I just don't think he's quite ready for consistent Premier League football. And I think that's why they brought Willian Jose in. And Nuno's hinted that we may see Jimenez before the end of the season as well. So hopefully in the next month or 2, we see a bit of Jimenez. So if we can have Willian Jose, Raul Jimenez and Fabio Silva, I think long term there'll be 3 good options.
You've obviously missed him a lot.
Yeah, massively, mate. Massively. I mean, we saw, it was still quite a quiet start for Wolves at the start of the season, but he'd already scored 4 goals in the first sort of 6 or 7 games, which is huge, really. And you look at his goal record and his consistency over the last 2 years, without him, we would be nowhere near, we wouldn't have been getting into the Europa League and we wouldn't have done so well last season as well. So, it's been a huge loss for Wolves.
You do have some positives, though, at Wolves, like Pedro Neto. I actually didn't know he was like 20 years of age. I thought he was like 25, 26, somewhere there before. And he did score against us at the Emirates Stadium. So has he been your favorite player this season?
Neto, yeah, definitely. He's been very, very good. Came in last season, at the start of last season. I was a backup, really. used in like rotation, played quite a little bit in the Europa League. And then towards the end of the season, he got a lot more first team football, keeping the likes of Diogo Jota out the team and so on. And I still believe that was one of the big reasons Jota was sold, because Neto had just sort of kicked on so much and so quickly. But this season he's probably been our best player. If you asked Wolves fans who their player of the season was so far, I think they'd say Pedro Neto. Just improved so much. The only one that really looks like he wants to wear the shirt and really determined. And like you say, he's scoring good goals and crucial goals for us. So hopefully if we can get a bit more quality around him now, it'll help him grow even more as a player, and we can have a real decent footballer there. I think there will be a lot of clubs in the summer inquiring about him to Wolves, so I think we might have a job trying to keep him.
Yeah, again, I remember when we last spoke before that game, I think Cody had missed the previous 2 games before that Emirates game, and there was doubt about him coming back for that game. So Neto actually played as a left wing back for that game, if I'm not wrong. So what do you think is your best formation? Do you think it's the back 5? Do you think it's the back 4?
Defensively, I'd go with a back 5. I think we just seem to look a little bit more solid in that. But saying that, the last game or so, it showed also that it doesn't offer anything going forward for us. So it's really up to Nuno now in this game going into Arsenal. Does he want to play defensively, or does he want to give the game a go? I think with Arsenal, obviously, with them, I may be wrong, but they seem a little bit leaky defensively, possibly. And you guys may have 1 or 2 injuries going into this game. I would edge towards possibly going a little bit more attacking. We did that at the Emirates, and you saw what happened. You know, we were devastating on the counter attack a couple of times, and we got the free. That helped us get the 3 points. Whereas then you look at games like the game against Chelsea, where we shut up shop, 5 at the back. Yeah, we did a good job to stop Chelsea from scoring, but we didn't score. We didn't ever look really like scoring. So it's I think fans will hope to see Wolves go a little bit more attacking, and if we were to do that, we need to go with the back 4.
So bad news for you, we do have the second best defensive record in the league this season. So what's you have a better chance with like us getting nil, going out of that game without any goals than you guys scoring against us. So it's more possible you guys beat us like a 1-0 than a 3-2, something like that. So we don't score many goals, but you do defend well. So this season so far, where did you expect to be like by February? Where did you expect to be? Top 10, top 8?
Yeah, I think before the season we would have been hoping to be top 10, top 8, pushing again for European football. So to see us where we are at the moment is a little bit worrying. You've probably seen the table. You know, if we lose against you guys and results go against us, we could be 17th by the end of the week, which is worrying, really. So yeah, we're not in a great position at the moment. But saying that, if we can get a couple of wins, you know, we've got you guys, we've got Leicester on Sunday, so they are tough games. But if we can get wins in those games, I think the attitude at the club and the league position will be very, very different. We look a lot more comfortable. So yeah, it's very fine margins this season for Wolves, and we've got to make sure we're on the right side of the margin and not the wrong side of the margin.
Yeah, true. And what has been your best result so far this season?
Best result, I'd argue against possibly the game against you guys or the game against Chelsea. I think obviously with the circumstances in the game against you guys, we had that really early injury to Jimenez, who's such a big part of the team for us, and I think a lot of teams would have struggled to get into the game really after such a horrific injury. So to beat you guys like that, I think was very, very good. But the game against Chelsea as well, that we left that very late. So that was nice to be 1-0 down against them and turn that game around. So I'd say that win against you guys or the win against Chelsea earlier on in the season.
I remember as well that game, like the Giroud goal didn't really even, it wasn't a clear goal, like it was just like goal and technology and stuff like that. So let's see. I will get into a combined 11. I did not tell Dave about this, but it will be like a 5-minute thing. But what are you expecting from this game? How do you want to approach it if you are the manager?
I would like personally to see his attack. Nuno has just seemed to lack a little bit of confidence, I think, as a manager over the last couple of months. And I think he really needs to be quite brave now for the next couple of weeks. there are a lot of people worrying about him and his league and his position as manager, to be fair. So I think he's got to be brave, go for this game, go attack him. We've got Daniel Podence back. We've brought in a new striker. So we need to try and get the likes of Neto, Podence, Willian Jose and Adama all on the pitch at the same time to start trying to cause teams some problems.
Awesome. And who are you fearful of at Arsenal? Because Saka won't play, Tierney won't play, Aubameyang is a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, Aubameyang's always the one that you worry about, and Saka. So Tierney's had a good season, so I think that's fairly good news for Wolves. But I think you guys have still got very capable players. We could see Martin Ødegaard come in for the first time, who I think is a very talented player. It'll be interesting to see if he gets any minutes. And even the likes of Lacazette, I know, he's blows hot and cold a lot, but on his day, he's so dangerous to defend and so difficult to defend. So, yeah, you guys have got talent all across the pitch, really. So we've got to be wary of everyone, I think.
A couple of questions from the chat. HJ90 asks, would you sack Nuno if things keep going south?
There are a lot of fans, actually, at the moment that do want Nuno to go, believe it or not. There's a lot of fans and people I speak to who aren't Wolves fans find it ridiculous because of what he's given and what he's achieved for the football club. But unfortunately for Nuno, the thing is, when he's 3 seasons in charge, he's got us promoted, he's got us into the Europa League, and then got us to a Europa League quarter-final. This is the first time in his Wolves career that he's not doing fantastically. So obviously Wolves fans aren't used to that, really. So a lot of fans aren't happy with the situation. I don't think that unless we are genuinely dragged into that relegation battle, I don't see him losing his job. I think he'll keep his job until the end of the season. And if the board aren't too happy, they might review it in the summer. But like we mentioned earlier with the injuries, I think the board are quite understanding that we've had so many injuries, and it was always going to be a difficult job for him, and they've not really backed him in the transfer windows, to be honest. So, as it stands, I don't think they'll sack him mid-season, but if it ends very badly for Wolves, I think his job will come under question in the summer.
Yeah, and then RK Sweet says, Dave, what's your prediction for the game?
Look, the Wolves form at the moment is dreadful, but I am always positive. I always hope that Wolves can maybe turn it around. Arsenal is a tough game. We've had very good games, I think, ever since Wolves have been promoted back into the Premier League. But I think it's going to be a narrow game. I can't see Wolves keeping a clean sheet, but I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, I think, tomorrow.
I would have asked this next question anyway because I was wondering, what's the deal with Cotrone? Because he came and then he went out on loan again, and then now he's gone on loan again. What's happening with him?
Yeah. So obviously he signed last season. He came to Wolves. I was really excited because he was so highly rated, and he just didn't seem to. He couldn't break into the first team anyway because Jimenez was playing so well, and it didn't seem that he got on very well with Nuno. So he went out on loan last January to Fiorentina. They had an obligation to buy him, and they just didn't really play him. So they had an agreement with Wolves to bring him back at the start of January. Again, a lot of fans excited to see him back at the club. And it's just not worked out for him again. He's back out on loan at Valencia now. So, it's a shame. But some Wolves fans are happy because they don't think he's good enough. But at the same time, we've only got Willian Jose and Fabio Silva again. And Wolves struggled for so long with so little strikers. If Willian Jose gets injured, we're back to square one again. We've only got one striker. So that's why I thought if we were to let him go, we should have brought another striker in, really. I just don't think Cotrone and Wolves are a good match. And I don't think, if regardless of what happens at Valencia, I think he'll be a player that Wolves probably look to sell in the summer.
Yeah, I spoke to Raya from Wondering About Tools yesterday, and she said she was very excited that Willian Jose apparently had 2 shots on target against Palace.
Yeah, I mean that says it all that we get excited about 2 shots on target. But she's right. Yeah, we had 2 good. He had 2 good chances, and against other goalkeepers, they may have gone into the back of the net. But he got in the right areas, and his link-up play was decent. So I think we're all excited to have a proper big number 9 who can hold up the ball and bring other players into the game.
Okay, on screen right now is your next 5 fixtures. You're going to have Arsenal at home. You're going to have Leicester at home, Southampton away. I think you're playing Southampton twice that week. Leeds at home and Newcastle away. 15 points available. How many points do you think you'll pick up?
I think last time I said 15, didn't I? I'm not going to say it again.
I remember last time you said 15,
Well, in an ideal world, right, on paper, I'd hope for 9 there. But with Wolves at the moment, Southampton on their day can be brilliant. Leicester on their day can be brilliant. So can Leeds. The only game that I would be very disappointed if we didn't win would be Newcastle. If I say 9, then that's me being optimistic. 9 points, I'd be happy from that. Because I think it would just sort of drag Wolves out of that strange little position we're in at the moment, hopefully. So, say for argument's sake, I mean, if Arsenal and Leicester beat us and we've got another 2 losses in a row, I don't think fans would be too happy. But, if we can get 9 points out of the possible 15, I think I'd be satisfied.
Yeah. I mean, Arsenal don't have any of their best players right now. We are missing 3 or 4 players. Leicester missing their best player, Vardy. Southampton, they've lost 3 games in a row, if I'm not wrong. Leeds always concede goals, even though they got a big win against Leicester. And Newcastle have not been good this season. So I said yesterday you're going to pick 9 points from this. Hopefully not against Arsenal, but I've seen you guys beating Arsenal before at the Molineux. You beat Leicester with that Jota goal some other time. So all these teams, we've beaten them before. Elijah in the chat asks, is Adama the best player at Wolves?
This season he's not been fantastic, to be fair, Elijah. But I do like I said earlier, I do hope he plays. He's so dangerous on his game, and I think we saw that. You guys saw it last time at the Emirates. He played so well, I think, in that game. Draws fouls, wins us free kicks, and he just. We just need him to be on it because it's too often this season where he plays games and doesn't really turn up. So he's not. I wouldn't say he's the best player, but he's definitely a very pivotal player for Wolves when he's on his game.
Yeah, I saw you tweeting a couple of weeks ago about selling him. Not like that you wanted him to go, but you were asking Wolves fan if they would sell him. So if we came with £35 million today, transfer deadline, would you sell him?
5 million? Did you say? Sorry,
35.
Oh, 35. Oh, 35 possibly. I'd think about it. We signed him for 18 million a couple of years ago. And the club wanted about 70 million for him in the summer, but he's just not played very well this year at all. I had a guy on my live stream last week and we were talking about it and he said he'd sell him for 10 million, which was hilarious, really. But 35 million. If Wolves had a replacement in mind, I'd definitely think about it, I think. Because he's just not been as good as last season, really, which is a shame.
Yeah, so I could not have asked you about the best result, and you mentioned Arsenal, so I would not have asked you about the worst result. Which one hurt you more? Was it the Liverpool 4-0? Was it losing to West Brom, Aston Villa? Which one hurt most?
Oh, probably the West Brom one, really, because, well, like you said, there was teams that are coming up which had their best players missing. So did West Brom. They had 2 or 3 big injuries. That's our closest rival. The last time we played them, they beat us 5-1. The last time we were in the Premier League when Mick McCarthy got sacked. So this was it's been such a long time and Wolves fans wanted to get their revenge. And the fact that we went 2-1 up at half time after going 1-0 down, all the Wolves fans were really happy. And then a disastrous second half when we lost it. And yeah, it was safe to say I wasn't on Twitter and Facebook too much after that game because there's one of my best friends is a West Brom fan. I've got family members that are West Brom fans. So yeah, I'd probably say if there was one result this season, that one hurt the most.
Penalties. We gave away, I think, 2 penalties in that game, very clumsy. So let's now get into the final topic, which is the combined 11. That will be interesting, just a quick one. So in goal, would you have Leno or Patricio? I've seen a couple of fans complaining about Patricio for the Eze goal.
Yeah. So I do really like Patricio, but I think Leno is very, very solid. I remember before you guys signed him and we hadn't signed Patricio, we were linked with Leno as well when we came up. But yeah, I think Leno is one of the better goalkeepers in the league, to be fair. So I'll probably give you that one.
Okay, have Leno, and then right back, Bellerin, Cedric, Semedo. Bellerin is a guy who's linked to Barcelona, and Semedo is a guy who came from Barcelona. I thought you'd be 3 times Doherty. Let me just confess that, because he was very good at Barcelona, especially pace-wise. So has he lived up to the expectations?
He started off very, very slow, but he's growing into it now a little bit. I think we're seeing a little bit more of his defensive side as well. I don't know, a lot of you guys, whenever I talk to you, or especially last time, I don't know if it's improved. A lot of your fans didn't really rate Bellerin too much or rate his performances this season. Yeah. So I think for that reason, I might be able to sneak Semedo into this team.
Okay, Semedo, and then at left back, I mean, you guys, Semedo's played at left back the other day. But I'll put Tierney. Saiz has also played there, and it's Norris, so will be a left back. I know John is injured currently.
Yeah, I'll give you Kieran Tierney for this one. I think Saiz isn't a natural left back; he's more of a centre back. But he has, like you say, he has played there. And Aït-Nouri at the moment isn't. I don't think he's ready for consistent Premier League football. So I'll give you Kieran Tierney.
I thought Saiz. Does Saiz play as a centre back for Morocco, or does he play as a?
Yeah, I think he plays as a centre back for Morocco as well. Yeah, centre back. Yeah, I bet. He may play because he used to play for Wolves as a centre mid, and then but I've definitely seen him play centre back for Morocco as well.
Okay, and then central defense. I did include a couple of players, so I put Luis, Gabriel, Cody, Bolly, Holding. I didn't include the likes of Pablo Mari and Kelman because they've been in and out. But Kelman has played a couple of games this season. So who would you have at centre back? Which two?
If we're going with a back four, I'd probably pick Bolly and Gabriel. I'd say. I know you said Louise has improved quite a bit recently, and a couple of fans have said that as well. I think, if we're going on careers, probably Louise, but at this current time, I'll probably pick Gabriel and Bolly, I think.
Cody has dropped off. I was seeing your fans asking for him to be subbed off again. I remember against West Brom, you subbed off, and then the other day you guys were asking for him to be subbed off. I usually used to like his leadership qualities.
Yeah, he's not been fantastic really recently. He's just poor, really. Poor defending, really, and he's not been fantastic. And if Wolves want to play with a back four, he's not that type of defender. He's not a proper centre back to play in a back four. So unfortunately, it's not been a great season for him so far.
Okay, we'll go with a 4-3-3. I don't know if that suits both teams. I don't really think so. Maybe a 4-4-2, something like that. So midfield, let's go for midfield. Neves, Moutinho, Partey, Xhaka, a lot of options in the midfield. I remember you guys also complaining about Neves starting, or Moutinho starting ahead of Neves. I think you guys prefer Neves ahead of Moutinho.
It's got to be Neves and Partey, I reckon, out of those two. I know we've not seen a massive amount of Partey yet in the in the Premier League. I'd go with Partey and Neves. Moutinho this year has been very poor, really poor. So
how about his set pieces?
Even his set pieces aren't great. I mean, his corners against Palace were a lot better. But even his set pieces haven't been fantastic. I prefer Neves on the set pieces as well, especially free kicks. But I would probably go with I'd probably go with Neves and Partey. Again, on career, on experience, you'd definitely pick Moutinho, but at this current moment, I would go with Neves.
Now, here's a very hard one for you. On the right, Saka, Pepe, or Traore? I know you'd want Saka and Traore, probably both of them, but on the left, you have a couple of more options.
I'll probably pick Saka just on current form because he's been fantastic for you guys. And he's still very quick as well. I know Adama's very, very quick, but other than that, he doesn't do much else, to be fair. So I think Saka's a little bit more complete. So if I had to pick out of those three, it'd be Saka.
Okay, I can see Gabriel and Bolly. Elijah says Partey and Moutinho. But Wolves have not really liked him recently. Saka, obviously. So on the left again, we've had a couple of players. Where does Podence play for you guys mostly?
He can play all across, really, left, middle, or right hand side. To be fair.
Okay, so we'll include him on the left side. Yeah. So Neto, Aubameyang, Podence.
Oh, Aubameyang is a left winger.
He's been playing there the whole season.
So. I'm only gonna pick Neto. I know Aubameyang I would probably class him maybe before the season as world class because again I know he's been a little bit quiet for you guys. But on this one, if we were playing with a 4-4-2, I would pick Neto on the left and then probably I know we'll come on to strikers shortly. So I'll pick Neto for this one. So
you'd if you're playing a 4-4-2, you'd have Neto and then Aubameyang. You'd still have Aubameyang up front.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay, and then up front, we'll include Jimenez. So Jimenez, Lacazette, Nketiah. You have Willian Jose if you want to include him there. Who would you have?
Yeah, up front, I would. If we play 4-4-2, up front, I'd have Aubameyang and Jimenez.
And then Saka on the right, and then
Neto on the
left.
Yeah.
So let me see how many Arsenal players, how many Wolves players you managed to get in. You said Semedo. You said Bolly. You said Neves, Dendonka, no?
No. Yeah, it was Neves and Party. I said no, wasn't it? So
okay. So Dendonka, you really don't like him this season.
He's
Neto,
okay, but I'd have Party. I think ahead of him. I think I'd have Party ahead of him.
So you managed to get in 5 players, which is
it's
I can say it's okay.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's basically the difference is the goalkeeper. So there's some players there that I don't mind you putting Neto ahead of Aubameyang, even if you aren't playing a 4-4-2, because he's been more brilliant than Aubameyang this season. He's been very good. So yeah, so all the best for the rest of the season. I know you guys you won't get relegated. I can assure you of that.
I hope so. I hope not. Sorry.
Are you worried about that?
At the moment, no. But at the moment, no. But like I said earlier, if we lose tomorrow and results go against us, we're 17th in the table, which is scary, really. But at the moment, I'm not worried about that. I'm fairly confident there's 3 worse teams in the Premier League than Wolves. So fingers crossed that we'll be playing again next season anyway.
Yeah, who will score for you this tomorrow?
Let's go with Neto. We've been bigging him up a lot. Let's back Neto to score.
That's one player I'd love at Arsenal. So thank you very much for coming on, Dave. I've put his link in the description, the second link in the description. You can also go over to Talking Wolves and check out his preview, Deluded Guna. And I appreciate him coming on. Thank you, everyone, for the questions in the chat. Let's hope we get a win tomorrow. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys late.